Okay. Alright. I have my notes here that I wrote just in no particular order. Right, okay. Alright, so these are not in response to watching any of your VODs or anything, but okay, actually some of them are. Okay, so on occasion, feel more comfortable. So just in no particular order, these are the things that I wrote down in my notes. Feel more comfortable throwing spiral arrows when the opponent's in burnout. Just skip neutral. Alright. You can get standing heavy punch target combo from overhead. Right, so a lot of the times I see you doing, when you land the overhead, especially in the corner, you always go into back medium punch into this. But this is, that used to be the optimal combo, but this is +8, so you can do the standing heavy punch target combo into that, and that's, you know, builds you a lot more super. This route does slightly more damage and builds like a centimeter and a half less super. So by that calculation, I would say like 300 damage less in terms of super value. Anyways, but you know, whatever. More. The fuck am I talking about? More shallow dive kicks over fireballs? What the fuck? Ignore that one. I don't even know why I wrote that or when I wrote that. Jump light kick at people in the corner. Oh, right. Some of these I wrote a couple days ago. This is a thing about how a lot of characters' anti-airs really suck shit in the corner. So you can... You do a lot of, like, quick buttons into, like, shallow dive kicks in the corner, but a lot of the time you can really get away with getting in with jump short, especially. Like, Jamie's anti-airs are not going to hit you. His DP won't hit you. There's a lot of characters who cannot fucking do much there. Right, so jump light kick at people in the corner a lot more. Steal frames with standing heavy punch into heavy knuckle. You do this sometimes, but I think you could do it more often. Just heavy knuckle in general. So a couple things you can do with heavy knuckle. It's -3, and if the opponent is likely to respond with an 8-framer, you can beat it with forward heavy kick. You can do this into light knuckle more often, and if the opponent does not have a very threatening low... Actually, let me see if that will beat... Let me check who's a character that has like a decent but not crazy ranged 8-framer. Ryu. I want to see if this will beat his low forward. I'm actually curious. I don't know. Crouch medium kick. No. I tried to do forward heavy kick. It'll work off of this, definitely, but... Alright, next. Steal frames. Right, steal some frames. So, a lot of people will just instinctively respect the light spin knuckle if you just do it on occasion. And if the opponent doesn't have like a super strong like low into drive rush cancel, even Ed, okay, like if you watch high level Ed players, he actually does have a low. His low medium punch hits low, so it's basically a low forward, and he can do it in a drive rush. But they never fucking do it. They like his reward that he gets from it kind of sucks. So even though he could threaten you with lows, it almost never happens in that circumstance because they just hate doing that. So against any character that's unlikely to hit you with a deadly low, you can abuse Stand Fierce and a heavy knuckle a lot more. So you can go for Stand Fierce, light knuckle, and then just walk backwards if the low is not dangerous. And then when they respect it, go for heavy knuckle. Doesn't matter that there's a much huger gap in between it. Mostly players are inevitably going to succumb to human laziness, and they're not going to fucking option select this, alright? They'll just be like, oh, he does light knuckle, I'll just block. So you can get away with that pretty frequent, like not constantly in a match, but you can get away with that, you know, a handful of times against a single opponent. Next, crouching heavy punch instead of shimmy. This is my number one tip that I can't believe it's taken me this long to even remember to recommend this. See, in like a normal scenario, you think of like the strike throw game as if the opponent's going to do like a delay tech, so have him block, normal throw at a delay of 6 frames. I actually finally did go and watch a bunch of matches with a frame counter and measure when the average player does a delay tech, and the answer is between 6 and 10 frames. So, doing like this. Wait, do I have it on? Oh, wait, no, wake up, reversal, right. Between 6 and 10 frames, so a lot of times like 7 frames. So that they can block the button, etc. So between 6 and 7 frames is when they delay tech. So right, you normally think of strike throw as like either you create the mix-up scenario, you either strike, you throw, or you shimmy, and the opponent has like several options. So if the opponent does jump back, right, they'll beat throw and shimmy. Or if they attack, they will lose to throw, and they will lose to strike. But they will beat shimmy. So that's like the rotation of the 3 options. But technically every character has a 4th rotation, and that's delay button. So if we have them do it teching at a normal rate, we do this, crouch fierce. So when you're like +2, +3, crouch fierce. Alright? Against throws, because if a throw and a strike hit on the same frame, the strike wins, which means that the likelihood of beating a delay tech, you have a 5-frame window to beat their delay tech if you hit a slower or a delayed button like this. The benefit of doing delay buttons with big gaps like this is it's pretty good. It's especially good in this game. It was already good in Street Fighter V when there was only when throws beat strikes on trades, which means that there was only a 4-frame window for it to actually work. Now it's a 5-frame window that it works, so it's even better for beating delay throw techs. And it's not only good for that, but it also has the benefit of like you don't have to. If you like do like a, I don't know, a dive kick or something, and you like do like a walk back into a button or a slightly delayed crouch medium punch or crouch medium kick or something, the value is that the delay buttons will also work, so crouch heavy punch will also work, but it works at a different timing that you will find very beneficial. And not only that, but obviously the crouch fierce is way more rewarding if it beats them doing a delay button or a delay tech. Way more value off of that than just getting like, you know, whatever else. And the benefit of incorporating delay buttons as opposed to like whatever else is that it does a better job than a shimmy at catching the other option. So like shimmy would lose to a backdash or a back jump, but not crouch fierce. So a 4th option that is very, very strong and very powerful, and Cammy has like one of the best buttons in the game for doing this with crouch fierce, because it's super rewarding on counter hit at almost any range, and it's plus on block, and it's like slow in just exactly the right way so that it's easy to time for these scenarios. So yeah, I would incorporate that into your strike throw game like immediately. I can't even imagine why it's taken me this long to think, oh yeah, obviously crouch fierce to beat delay techs and delay buttons and stuff. It's fucking insanely good. Right, meterless routes when 4 bars or below. Oh, right, this is just like arbitrary rules that I think make sense for when to spend stuff. Meterless routes when 4 bars or below if possible. So by that, I mean if you get like a whiff punish or something, when you're at like 4 bars of drive gauge or below, I then recommend doing, I recommend just converting with Spiral Arrow. And, you know, Cammy, out of like everyone in the cast, there's lots of characters that they really need drive gauge to even get a decent conversion into a good knockdown with a good corner carry. So like Luke, right? He needs drive gauge to do it. He has, if he gets one of his normals, he needs to spend drive gauge to get like good Oki and good damage off of it. Lots of characters in the cast don't have a great option, or some of them have like a knockdown that they could do, but then they would have to spend drive gauge on a drive rush afterwards to get Oki from it, like Manon or like Luke, etc. Whereas like Cammy has one of the best non-metered options in the game with just heavy spiral arrow. When you whip punish with a medium or a heavy, just go into heavy spiral arrow, and if you don't need to spend it and you're like at 2 bars of drive gauge or below, makes a lot more sense when you get a whiff punish to not put yourself that low if you can just get a knockdown and tons of corner carry and like respectable damage for just a single hit into whatever. And then you have like 4 to 5 bars more drive gauge to work with on your Oki situation. And then you can do all sorts of shit. So yeah, when you're at or below 4 bars of drive gauge, I would recommend converting into heavy spiral arrow instead of drive rush cancels when you get clear whiff punishes. Drive rush Oki off of lights when above 3 bars. Okay, this is something that Punk likes to do a lot nowadays. I notice him doing it more in recent matches. Anytime that he lands like a thing that he doesn't really want to convert, like things where he can only get lights, he seems to not want to convert them into drive rush cancels like that, which I understand, but he still wants to spend drive gauge, so if you land a conversion with lights into like medium drill, drive rush into crouching heavy punch, and this will, you can go for a throw, but this provides you a really good like mixed scenario, because you can do a crouching heavy punch, you can do a super delayed crouching heavy punch to, again, check the techs. If it's blocked, it's at a minimum +5, so block after first hit. Realistically, you can get it to be like +6 or more, which means you can get 2 in a row. So you can do that, and then do a light kick on block, so that should look like so. So that's pretty good. And so yeah, when you get like a light confirm into that and you have like 5 bars of drive gauge or more, I would say do drive rush Oki after the medium drill. Next, quick movements, shallow dive kicks, whatever. Abuse stand heavy punch into knuckle, and negative dive kicks on characters who don't have threatening lows. I talked about that already. Okay, slightly advanced technique. I only say it's advanced because it's easy to fuck this up. Delayed rapid cancels. See, the thing is, if you just do like a light string sequence like this, your lights always hit at the exact same timing. So like, as you can see below, it's jab, block string, then a 1 frame or 2, then a 2 frame gap, then whatever. 2 frame gap between each of them. There's a 3 frame gap between crouch jab and crouch short, and then a 1 frame gap between crouch short and crouch jab. But the thing is, then, like, if you try to do a light into a medium, you have to wait, you can't rapid cancel them. The light has to completely finish, and the lights are all -2. So there's a much bigger gap if you do it. But instead of just having it either be that or be huge gaps like that, you can do manually delayed rapid cancels. So you can slightly delay your jab like that to have a bigger gap than just doing jab jab, but a smaller gap than doing that. And that will be good against some characters in some matchups where, because like the gap between, you know, this and this is quite significant, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, big gap, 9 frame gap, 9 frame trade, 8 frame gap. But if we throw in some jab, slightly delayed jab, so jab, jab, like that, we can slightly delay our jab timings, and I'm trying to do an in-between. some characters have more of a leniency in their rapid cancels than others. It seems like Cammy can only do rapid cancel or, like, fully let go their light and then just do it light after the -2. But in any case, this is still beneficial as a pressure tool because it allows you to put a gap to check the opponent without having the gap be as big and thus leave you as vulnerable to other tools. So this gap, if you just do jab, delay, jab, is only a trade with 6 framers, trade with 6 framers, lose to 5 framers or faster. So if you're worried about 7 frame characters or slower than that, like Manon, for instance, the dangerous thing you're worried about is a 7 framer. This is a pretty good delay button, like put a gap, check for a counter hit, check what they do off of a very slight delay, but still make yourself safe to a medium punch. Anyway, so, right. Manually delaying the jabs so as not to rapid cancel them, etc. Alright. My next note, I actually do think using super, great value, blah, blah, blah. Right, okay. My next note is that I think the thing that will elevate your play, and you say that you want consistency and things like that, and I do think that, like, the thing that your play needs to elevate to the next level now is just raw fucking practice. I put that in my notes. Raw fucking practice. So that means that, like, in any capacity, you have, everything that we've talked about already, do that, but just better. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I put things that could be improved just in terms of ability to do the things that we've already talked about. Situational reactions. I pulled up this Punk match here because Punk has, like, really great, not just individual reactions to situations, but, like, for instance, there's a scenario where, let's say, we do, like, a dive kick on block, and it's like, whatever. And then we are worried about walking up forward for a throw or something, so we do, like, walk back into a medium punch or something. But the problem is, to check if they do a delay button, but the problem is, if they do that as well, so if they block reversal with this recording, if we don't suspect... Ryu's not a great character to do this because his walk speed kind of sucks, but, like, this is the point, is that if we anticipate something like that happening and we commit too hard to like that level of movement and then the button comes out even after they've been walking backwards for that long, we're liable to get hit some of the times if they do what they're probably likely to do a good number of the time, which is walk back into a medium. So, like, that's a scenario where we want to have, like, a tight, like, reactionary base so that we can recognize, like, even the micro changes in a scenario and not hit our medium button if we see that he's moving backwards. Because we don't want that to happen. So those, like, micro adjustments to whether or not you press a button or which button you press based on small things, small movements that the opponent's doing relative to your movements are, like, a degree of overall reaction, like, awareness-based reaction speed that Punk, for instance, is incredibly good at when you watch him play. So, for instance, like, let's just watch through this a bit. So, like, in this scenario, like, maybe, like, in this whole instance, he's trying to micro-react to the scenario so that he doesn't accidentally throw out something, because he doesn't want to walk into Mariza's stand medium punch, for example, or anything. So he's, like, moving forwards and backwards. He's not reacting to anything. He does a very safe, like, super delayed heavy kick when he's certain that it's in range and that he's not going to walk into a button from doing it. That's not, like, a great example of it, but it's just, like, a So yeah, and it's how, right, it's how he gets these stand jab spacings. This is the thing that I mostly wanted to point out. It's also like his consistency of getting the tail end of his standing heavy kick, but not very frequently whiffing it or getting it too close, etc. But yes, he's very, very precise in reacting to exactly to his stand jab placement, and then reacting to if they've just walked into range of a stand jab. So one of the things that we would like to do ideally is, like, the problem is stand jab into crouch strong has a big gap, and basically any character in the game can blow that up if they expect that we're going to do stand jab crouch strong. What we would like to do, most ideally in neutral, is move in such a way that we can get the counter hit stand jab, but only do crouch strong if it hits. So we want to be able to react to the situation enough that we see that the stand jab is going to hit before we do crouch strong, but we want to react fast enough so that we can still get the combo. And that is difficult and requires a lot of situational awareness and reactions to lots of things that contribute to that fact. So yes, stand jab neutral is like, I think, a really good tool that is incredibly, like, its value is incredibly dependent on, like, how fucking fast your situational reaction speed is, so that you're not doing whiff buttons or, like, mediums with gaps in them. You're just doing stand jabs, but you're consistently confirming them on counter hit and crouch strong. Yep, so he recognized the bad spacing, so he just sat there crouch blocking and then expected, because 801 was full-on drive gauge, that he would do a medium drive rush, and then he just did that. So that's, you know, like what we talked about. Slightly misspaced dive kick. Probably should have been a drive rush or a wake-up drive reversal there. Bad combo from Strider.
With my previous carrier, there was just so much stress on me because I was constantly worried about how...
So yeah, see, he did just a stand jab in neutral, but he didn't commit to anything else, right? He throws out just that stand jab, that fucking dagger-ass thing. It's not as good as when Chun-Li does it, but it's still better than most of the rest of the cast. Her stand jab neutral. So, see? Crouch jab, walk back, he didn't press shit, because he didn't see a scenario that he would want to react to and press anything into. So, like, this is, like, kind of what I mean in terms of, like, just do everything we talked about, but better and cleaner in as many ways as possible. So, cleaner combos, cleaner conversions, cleaner damage optimizations, cleaner understanding when to spend resources and kill, cleaner anti-air consistency, cleaner whiff punish consistency, fewer instances of whiffing buttons on assumption punishes on whiffs, etc., like tighter situational reactions for all of these factors, checking drive rushes consistently, converting off of hits as optimally as possible with greater consistency, knowing when you can kill consistently, instantly making routing decisions in your combos that will put you in the best scenarios possible, knowing what situations to create in order to kill or use your resources to their greatest value, so knowing when you have all that you need to kill and then creating the situation that will do so, using level 2 off of shimmies, etc., fighting for what? Okay, whatever. I mostly explained it, but yes, that's where I actually think, like, realistically speaking, is like your next hurdle is that just, it's not like a change in strategy necessarily, or a change in your toolkit in a very big way. It's just doing everything that you already know to do, but just with just keep practicing and keep doing it and keep pushing yourself to do the same thing, but as best as possible to, like, reach that next level. So, like, yeah, like, if your whiff punishes can get, like, super fucking sharp, if your anti-airs can get very consistent, or at least significantly more consistent, that is the actual next step. Anyways, I'm waiting for him to do, like, a particularly good stand jab counter hit confirm. It's so, again, one of those situations where I'm like, what was that bullshit combo? See? Stand jab. 801 Strider was totally waiting for it. He was fishing with, like, his next. He was immediately going to press it because he knows it's -2. Punk did not press. He just walked backwards. Alright? He's not going to press that crouching medium punch unless he's very confident in his situational reactions that he knows that the stand jab is going to be counter hit. Yes, the jab. Kill your enemies. There we go. See, that entire time he'd been doing the occasional stand jab. He does it into nothing. He does it into nothing. Immediately recognizes the contact and the counter hit, and then converts. And he already had the combo he was going to do pre-planned, which was not even the optimal combo, but whatever. I was pulling up some of these Hikaru matches because every time you watch Hikaru play, this is like the most obvious thing. Is that this guy's a fucking robot. Okay, that he's a robot designed to do one thing, and that's know when he can kill the opponent. Everything he does is like the most fucking brutal, like the harshest brutalization and knowing exactly what scenario he needs to unfold. And a lot of the times he like constantly tricks the opponent into thinking that they're not one hit away from death and thinking that they have an advantage. Like, he will put himself in burnout in such a way that he knows all he needs is one forward heavy punch, single hit confirmed into level 3 to kill. But the opponent will be like, oh, he's backing off. He's in burnout. It's my chance to do something. And they don't realize that one tap and they're dead. So yeah, I mean, just watching Hikaru play is like, you know, for the most part, it's very mesmerizing because like every scenario he unfolds is not just him winning the situation and winning it well, but like winning it in one of the best ways he possibly could, where his conversions and like the hit that he gets is so rewarding, and like all the decision making is like so good. Like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at how robotic this guy is. He knew that was exactly... He knows that this was one hit away from death. Hits him low. He knows that he's dead. And just precisely dead. And the reason why this level 3 killed, even though he just barely got into the yellow health, is because... if he's poisoned during the level 3 animation, it will kill even outside of yellow health. That's unfortunate. So yeah, a lot of the times what they do on their Oki situation is indicative of like, it's like a delicate balance between one, what would be the best for them to actually land, and two, mixing up their options so that, because like the ideal scenario is like, you know, let's say you can kill if you neutral jump on the opponent and they whiff a throw and then you kill them, right? But it's like, if you do that all the time in those instances, that's obvious and they know not to take a throw there. So it's like this delicate balance between mixing up your options such so that the opponent is actually guessing and unsure of what you can do, but also still at the optimal moment of mixing up the opponent, doing an option that you know will be, like, the most valuable. So, like, making those align in such a way is, like, this very, complex thing. So it's like, off of this overhead, if that had hit, he's, like, fucking here in health, right? Off of Toxic Blossom, off of this situation, he would have built whatever. Like, if that had hit, it would have completely turned the scenario. He would be, dominantly winning this round. And so, like, that's what he would want in the scenario. He wants to get, like, a significant life lead so that he can flip the round around and force the Akuma to have to, you know, make up a deficit, etc. Like, it's not just about getting the kill, but it's like, what is the scenario that could unfold that would be most beneficial and put me closest to victory in, like, the best way possible? And so that's where they structure their usage of, like, certain hits and whatever. Yeah, it's dead. So he knows what the game plan is. He knows that he's attacking the drive gauge. He kind of left it off in a couple bad instances here. He did a drive rush, backdash, whiff parry. As soon as he saw that, he knows that throw out the EX, look for whatever, harass him, force your way in, but not too obviously. And, like, even in these instances, even if he's wrong, like, the Akuma's so low on drive gauge and doesn't want to burn himself out, especially against Aki, who is absolutely brutal in burnout. He's still not getting much off of the interruption hits that he is getting. That should have worked, I think. No. Bad misplay there. Now once again, this should kill because it's Akuma, yeah. So once again, this is a situation where it's like, I was just talking about that neutral jump thing, and I was like, you know, a lot of people, like, one, they're less likely to expect a neutral jump in mid-screen, and this wasn't a neutral jump, but Aki can uniquely do this at, like, point-blank range with a forward jump in a way that other characters can't, really. But yeah, I mean, he knew that in this scenario, he went for the thing that he knew he could kill off of, so if he was right, he would just win. But it was balanced in such a way that that Kakeru actually did guess wrong on it. That, you know, it wasn't so obvious that Kakeru realized that, you know, he was one whiff throw away from dying in that scenario. No. Yeah, just brutal. So in these situations, like, let's take one of these situations where he got, yeah, this interruption, right? He didn't want to spend drive rush because that would put him in close to burnout situation, and he didn't have poison on him, so there wasn't like a great Toxic Blossom route to go for or anything. So he just takes this, for the knockdown. He takes a safe jump, and the safe jump is just to waste time so that he can rebuild even a little bit more drive gauge, etc. And then all he knows is that any hit that he gets off of that next with the Toxic Blossom on is going to kill. This is another one of those instances with Hikaru, like just round start into choosing a routing that specifically puts him in a position that he knows is outrageously advantageous, and identifying that immediately is like an incredible skill that he has. So right off of this scenario, he knows that he's won. He literally knows that he has won already. And he chooses the routing perfectly in accordance with that. So all that happens is he's like he just removes a little bit of his gauge on block with the forward heavy punch. He does one drive rush that puts him at 2.5 bars. And he harasses him with one more heavy on block that he can do safely in neutral. And then when he fortunately lands this hit, he's won. He has already won. Nothing he can do. Nothing he can do. By the way, there's that thing I was saying about characters that only can respond with 4-framers or 8-framers, like Honda. So just to continue to collect a lot of data to base your decisions and alterations to your game plan on, I watched as many of these as I could before I started to get bored and wanted to do something else in a row to measure all of your super generation and super usage in those matches. So we'll start with this one. So no supers, no supers, no supers yet. One super spent. Okay, so come in here. Alright, reversal, super. So I put that as reversal super to win round. One super to get a functional value that you wouldn't have gotten without the super and get enough damage to kill and take a round that you wouldn't have otherwise taken. I think that counts for only 1 bar of super. I think that counts as great value relative to super spent. Now next, it looks like you get level 3 and then could have killed off of that. That's the next thing is that, you know, again, I'm recording these out of order, but one thing that I'm going to say either before this or after this point is talking about, like, making sure, like, the next step is making sure that you look for the hits that you can for kill. Like, as soon as the opponent gets into range where one of your hits has the potential to kill, you should imagine that combo, that scenario and that combo in your head for how you will kill them with your resources. And then after that point, the lower their health gets, any confirm. So as soon as you have level 3 and you're in this instance, you're like, all right, any confirm, even just 2 jabs or something, go into level 3 and kill. So that ideally is a place where we would want to be completely, our entire game plan would be looking for the kill by that point with level 3, confirming to level 3. But anyways, we didn't, and by the time that we used it, so that would mean we held on to the level 3 and would have built 0.43 bars before the last interaction that decided the game. So 0.43 bars of super wasted, and we win without spending any. So that's 3.43 bars of super that didn't go towards our victory at all, so massive waste. Alright, next game. Hold level 3 to a loss of 0.7 bars. So you hold a level 3, apparently from here. Right, because DI builds you a shitload, so off of that interaction you would have built like 0.7 bars from there. Could have killed with a different combo. In fact, I think I probably put that in here. Let's see. Use level 1 to the corner, almost kill. Oh, I didn't even bother to put... There's another routing, or using a level 2 would kill, but it doesn't matter. And they were in chip. They were burnt out anyway, so they were guaranteed to die from chip. Hold... Level 3, again, so you get back up to level 3 again, and then you hold it for an amount that would have built 0.8 more bars of super. So that's another 0.8 super, and then you lose without spending any super. So 3.8 wasted, not going to your... So good value on this level 1, then some waste, massive waste. Alright, next game. Alright, we're looking for... Alright, so we built level 3, and it looks like we're going to hold on to it and waste 0.67 bars of super that we would have built, and then die with without spending any super, so 3.67 bars of super wasted, so massive waste. Alright, next. You versus this Jamie. You have level 3... And then you lost with level 3. I think that's all there was to that. So hold on to level 3. Would have built 0.63 bars of super in that time, and you died at level 3, so 3.63 wasted. Next. Alright. Looks like you spent a level 1 almost immediately after building level 3 here. So a level 1 here, not quite Oki in the corner or anything. There probably would have been a better route if we were that far away from the corner. And we could have punished him with anything because he did the double palm thing. So we had the opportunity to do a level 2 route, that one of the really strong level 2 routes, etc. But anyway, so use a level 2 for extra damage and carry. Did not get Oki, some value for the level 1. Use level 3 right after you build it and kill. The combo that you did would have worked and killed with a level 2. So you did, right, you did DI through his Rekkas, I think I recall. Punish counter on that, and at this health point, I put that into the training mode with a little bit extra health on Jamie just to be sure. And, you could have killed with a level 2 off of the same instance with those same resources with this route. Wait, no. You need to get level 2. You could have killed with level 2 with this route. So, because you could have killed with level 2, I'm not going to qualify this as, like, winning because of the level 3. I would say that theoretically you could have killed with level 2, therefore 1 bar of super did not go towards your victory. That's my logic for that, because you could have done it with less. Anyways, so good value because your supers did contribute to your kill. Right, I wrote down the proper combo for the level 2 route there. Next game. Building supers. Okay, looks like you spend level 3 very quickly after getting it. So maybe like, I don't know, like 0.2 bars of super you would have built for the last like 2 hits of the target combo, but whatever. So you use level 3, you get vital round. You lost this round from a combo drop, it looks like I wrote down here, but you would have won the round if you had not dropped the combo after this point. So whatever. Use level 3 right after you get it. Decent usage. Whatever. Alright, you versus Lily. Alright, looks like you spent his super here. Right, I remember this part. Alright. Yeah, you do a level 2 route, but your level 2 routes are... You do a level 2 route and then specifically go into a thing so that you can push for burnout. But your level 2 routes are not, like... Your understanding of the level 2 routes is not quite optimal, because you used, like, this drive rush back roundhouse, but went into the jump medium punch, and there's no reason to do that. There's no routing where that makes sense to do, because if you can get the drive rush back roundhouse, you have much looser juggle points. So if you were going to do the jump medium punch route, you might as well do crouch fierce, then back roundhouse, then jump medium punch, because it makes no difference to what you get afterwards. But in any case, you got a neutral jump on a command grab, and that's where you started, so you could have gotten anything that you wanted here. But you were also full on drive gauge. Now, ideally, the most, like, value per whatever that you could get off of, like, neutral jumping a command grab here with the level 2 would probably be something like this. Because you just do buckets of damage for nothing. But because you already had full drive gauge and you didn't need to... Because, like, if you didn't have full drive gauge, you would have built back a ton also just in the lead up to the end of the combo anyways, so it almost pays for itself entirely, even adding the EX move at the end. But, right, so you have a lot of options off of level 2. Like, level 2 is technically complicated because there's a lot of different things you could do depending on what you care about most. So off of that punish counter, you could have done that, and that would have been great, like the best value per damage, etc. Would have done significantly more damage than what you did. What you did was that into the charge into just hooligan set play. So about 1,000 less damage than doing the non-drive rush cancel version. Or you could have also done this and just done the same thing but with the extra crouch fierce, which would have been slightly more optimal. And that would have done like an extra 200, 100 something damage and built a bit more extra bar or whatever. Or you could have done let's see, you could have done this, and then you could have spent a more dynamic amount of super for some sort of setup. But those ones get kind of complicated, where you start doing a quick launch into level 2 into like drive rush routes. So you could have done like that, for instance. There's lots of fucking shit you can do. But anyways, so there were better routes to go for, but in terms of your value per bars of super, suboptimal combo, but put Lily basically in burnout afterwards and got the kill shortly after. So yeah, great value. I think you got the kill shortly afterwards. Wait, what am I talking about? It's like near the beginning of the round. I'm thinking of a different scenario that unfolded. Alright. Your next usage of super was... seems like very shortly after you got a level 3. You spent it here to save yourself the drive gauge and get a quick, or even up the life leads in this final round. So I would have put that, even the life lead, final round. You win the game with 1 bar of surplus, which is like totally normal and standard. So yeah, seems good. Then the next one, it seems like you win without spending anything. So you won almost at the same time that you got the level 3, so there's not an extra amount of surplus, but you won without spending any bars, so huge waste. I mean, it's awkward to like call something a waste when you like win a round or win a game without spending super, because clearly if you won, you didn't need it, but at the same time, for the sake of consistency and the sake of, you know, having our strategies be good against players that are more dangerous and harder to beat, you know, we don't just want to win. We want to win as dominantly and convincingly as possible, and super that didn't contribute to our thing is a waste even then. Alright, next it seems like you spent a level 1 here. I'm looking at the right character, right? Yeah. You spent a level 1, right, as a reversal in this instance. I believe in this round I remember putting a note. Use level 1... Wait, you used level 1 to put... Could have killed with level 2. Oh, right, you spent 2 supers in this round, didn't you? Hang on. Wait, am I crazy? Yeah, there it is, there it is. I distracted myself because you built like a lot of super in like one quick combo right here. But yeah, you could have killed here with level 2. I don't know if you could have killed with level 1. What did you get the hit off of? Oh, right. Jab, crouch strong. No, you couldn't have killed with level 1. Wait, how much bar did you have? You had like almost full drive gauge. Shit, could you have killed with level 1? I'm gonna quickly check that. Drive gauge, about 5 bars you had. Then, whatever. Okay, so punish counter. That did 3,069 damage versus what you did, which was 3,069 versus that, so about like 130 extra. And how much life was he left with? Shit. I don't know if that's 130 damage. Maybe it would have killed. But anyways, the point is you definitely could have killed with level 2. I think I did the most optimal combo possible. Off the top of my head. That one into level 2, into level 1. Actually, hang on. Does that do more or less? It does the exact same damage. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so some waste on that. Then it seems like you next build some level 2s here. And then you lose with, what was the last time you were at like regular neutral? Seems like about 2 bars. So you lose with about 2 bars. Next, you get the level 3 here. You don't spend it there. Okay, so let me check my notes for what I measured. It seems like you get this level 3, and then you hold it for an amount that you would have built 2.37 bars. So you hold this for quite a while. Yep, hold it, still holding it, and then finally you spend it. 2.5 bars of super not generated later. Use level 1 for extra damage. Wasn't super great value because you would have gotten Oki in the corner anyways without the super. Then you get level 3 again and hold it for another half bar of generation from the interactions. And then what happens next? It seems like you reversal. It misses, but you kind of go full screen as he like jumps over you. And then, I don't know if that like benefited you or hurt you because whatever. And then you win with 2.3 supers that did not contribute to your victory. So 2.3 surplus. Then this game, get a level 3 and then seems like very shortly after spend a level 1 almost immediately. Just about immediately on the same hit. Spend a level 1, instant you max out, extra damage, get a lead. You use a level 3 right when you get it for a kill combo. I definitely would have put in my notes if you could have killed with less super, so it seems like it was an optimal conversion. Actually, wait, no. I didn't test this one. I thought I would have put it in my notes. I guess I got lazy here. Alright, let me just really quickly check this one. Counter hit, his health point's about here. I love measurements. Okay, about there. And then how much drive gauge do you have when you got the hit, the crouch strong? Looks like about full. Yeah, back throw and then crouch strong, so completely full. So, what could you have done other than a level 3 route? I mean, that doesn't look like the level of health that you could kill with the level 2, but let me just, No, the optimal level 3 route in this instance would be this. Or level 2 route, sorry. That would be optimal for level 2. Just barely not killing. Actually, here, hang on. Let me remove it from refill so that I can actually check. No, it does not kill. Okay. But the health was set to here, which is, yeah, pretty much where his health was. Maybe it would have killed. His health is very... It looks like just barely, slightly a pixel below what I've set it to. But anyways, logically speaking, I do think that level 3 was the safer choice, since the optimal level 2 route is not only a niche scenario that only occurs rarely, because it's a 9-bar combo, a 9 drive gauge combo with a micro walk, but... So, yeah. I totally approve of that usage, so that was like your first game so far in this order where all of your super usage was totally, like, peak value. Peak value, no waste, no surplus. Alright, next, another Lily. Seems like you use a level 2 here. I definitely remember this instance. I put it in my notes. Right. Every time you use a level 2 combo, I always put in my notes that there was a better level 2 combo. You use level 2. Oh, right, I remember this. I did a lot of testing after I watched this interaction. You did this, probably to hit the burnout. Yeah, you already had level 2 built up, so yeah, you hit this and then this for the burnout. I just realized upon this interaction and testing it that Cammy actually received a shadow nerf that was not mentioned in any of the change lists, etc. Where I distinctly remember, and I can pull up video from my channel where previously Cammy, when she would do this animation, would build drive gauge during it, even if she had already spent drive gauge, but now they've normalized it to not behave like a level 3, and now she has to do the full thing before she starts regenerating drive gauge from it. Anyway, so, interesting little tidbit. But anyway, so you did this, and for the burnout. Now, the thing about doing the air versions of this, let's see, she was about, like, here or so. The thing about doing the air versions of this is that, a level 2 deals 1 bar of drive gauge in terms of damage. Now, if you do the air version, it does 0.9. But if you do the air version in such a way that you hit jumping medium punch at the top apex point, it does 1. So it does the extra 0.1. That is the difference between doing it from the low jumping point. So the air version can do the exact same amount. Now, I think you did not need, especially because she was already regenerating drive gauge when you did this. So if instead of doing that, you had simply done that, you would have also burnt her out, and you would have gotten much more damage in a better setup. So you did this, which turns into how much damage? Alright, 3628 versus, could have done that. 3628 to 3878, and that one builds you more super and gives you Koinoroki. But yeah, anyways, but in terms of like value for supers, yeah, I mean you convert and then you use the super to burn them out, and then you get a win with DI right afterwards. Excellent. Is that really the end of the fucking round? You didn't even build 3 bars in this game. That was fast. Alright, next. You didn't even build 1 bar in this game. This round. Alright, seems like you use a level 1 here. For the side switch route. I approve of that. I think that's a great usage and great value. So, beautiful, beautiful position. Use level 3 shortly after getting it. Could have killed with no super anyways, so didn't matter. Wait. No, I must be talking about the next round. Yeah. Yeah, here. So, seems like on this last interaction, yeah, whiff command grab, you could have killed with no bar, or no super, so effectively 3 bars wasted. Didn't need them. Alright, next match. You versus... I did a lot of these fucking things. Alright, I'm gonna stop showing them until I'll just explain. Alright, you versus Honda. You level 3 right after getting it. Save from burnout. Ideal. Gain lead. You die with 2.3 bars not spent. Huge waste. You hold your level 3 for 1.37 bars of super not built. You reversal level 1. Block killed. You lose with... so you had 3 bars. You did a reversal level 1. It blocked and you died. So died with 3 bars, etc. So 4.37 waste. You versus Aki. You hold level 3 to a small amount of waste. You use level 1 for damage near corner. Should have done a level 2 instead. Let's go ahead and look forwards towards that so that I can see the exact situation I put that note on. Should have done a level 2 instead. So where do you get a 3 bars and then you get a... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong super. Alright, seems like... Yeah, okay. Alright. Whenever you land like a clean jumping heavy on something, then yeah, level 2 is like the perfect thing. Perfect option. Just go into back roundhouse into level 2 immediately. You are at like a little bit past mid-screen, so... Here. So you get the punish counter on this. Wait. I can do it from like there. So that's 4.342, and you build like 0.35 bars of super for it. So it's like a 1.6 cost for like 4.3k damage. So you did that. I mean, that's good damage too. I mean, it's hard to say. Let's, like, theoretically the scenario. Now, the level 2 route that I just did cost 0 bars, so, but it also looks like you just went into the target combo to level 1, so you also, oh wait, no, you did crouch strong. Alright, so you did that, which is how much damage? So, about 800 less damage, and you build a bit less super. Yeah, I mean, I still think the level 2 red is better in that instance. Alternatively, you could still put them in the corner and not take Oki, but just do even more damage. So, 4.7k, so an extra 500. Wait, 400. I can't do math. If 400 damage is worth putting them in the corner but not getting immediate Oki to you. Alright, then, so that's that. Then it looks like, right. Then you get level 3, and then you hold it for a long time again, so 1.71 bars you could have built. Wasted. You used level 2. Could have done a better route again, so let's go and see which route you did. Oh, right. You do that into the back strong target combo, into jump strong, into this, into like a nothing burger kind of. But anyway, so when you're about like mid screen or so, and about oops. So you did this into the charge, which is 3580, and then you get like the kind of, you just side switch yourself afterwards, versus oops. I promise this isn't hard, I'm just stupid. Uh, 3794 and more super generated, and you get to set up whatever you want on this knockdown without having to side switch. Or you alternatively could have, I actually need to test this a little bit because you can get Stand Fierce off of this, so maybe this would be the most optimal. Now, without... So that's 3710, and it builds 2.9 centimeter super versus this route, which I just did. Well, I forgot how much it built. 3710 versus that. So it built... No, this one's still better. Yeah. Alternatively, you could have just done raw damage with... Oh my god. For that much, which is like, you know, whatever. It's like 250, 300 more damage. Anyways, but yeah, the point is you could have done like about 300 more damage and built a bit more super off of your route with the better route. Then it seems like the next interaction, lose with 1 bar, whatever. You die with level 3, it seems like right when you get it, basically. Or shortly after you get it. Yeah, I didn't bother to count the rest of that. Anyway, so lose without spinning bar. Oh, wait, no, that must have been an in-between. Wait. I think I wrote this incorrectly. But whatever. So next... Right, a Blanca. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong... Wait. You versus Aki, you versus Aki, you versus... Oh, I must have wrote the wrong name somewhere in here. I'm assuming this means Blanca. If I didn't, then I've massively fucked this up. But anyways, I definitely measured these. I didn't have a fever dream, okay? You hold level 3... to 0.84 bars wasted. You kill with level 3. It was the only cancel you could have done. Right, you did like a crouch strong or a stand strong, crouch strong or something into like a no, you did like a stand fierce into a knuckle. Then you cancel that into a level 3. But like probably you could have killed him with other decisions or something because you like accidentally splurged yourself into burnout. Anyways, whatever. Next round, level 3. 1 bar wasted, you win with full bar. Okay. 1 bar wasted while holding it. Next, you hold level 3 for a long time to a waste of 1.99 bars you would have built. You use level 1 to kill. You use level 1 for extra damage and get an early lead in the last round. You have a chance in a shimmy for level 2 conversion that would have put you... Okay, right, this is a situation that I would like to actually... talk about. Where did it happen? I don't even remember if this is the right match. No. Okay. I forgot to put the name of the fucking Blanca. Well, the fact that I wrote everything wrong because I forgot to put the Blanca in here means that it's difficult for me to tell where I'm actually at in here. Whoa, whatever. Oh boy. Alright, okay, fine. I'll go back to Aki shit. Okay, one of these here has to be fucking Blanca. Fine. Alright, this is stupid. No, it was a later scenario. Right, this is the match. At some point I just gave up writing what was happening. Anyway, so more matches. Hold level 1, 1.51 wasted, not built. Use level 3 for kill combo, could have killed level 2, whatever. You hold level 3, 0.91 bars waste, you win with full bars. Not spent. Anyways, let's go to... It wasn't this scenario, was it? No. What was next? No? Maybe it was earlier. This is the scenario. Okay. Right here. So you got that. Now, you could have converted that into Stand Fierce and gotten significantly more damage off of that. But, like, this is one of the scenarios that I'm talking about where it's like, when you have, like, an opportunity, when the opponent's health gets, like, to a point where, and you have, like, a level 2 or a level, or close to a level 2, close to whatever, and you have, like, a decent amount of drive gauge, you can create a scenario where you're like 1 or 2 interactions away from winning. And this is like one of those situations where you get a shimmy, but then you do like crouch jab, crouch strong. Whereas like at this point, Kimberly at 52% health, it looks like. Okay, with a punish counter, and I think you had like 4 bars of drive. Wait, how much drive gauge do you have? Right, you had about... Yeah, off of this, you had like 4 bars of drive gauge in this scenario, and you almost had a level 2. So in this circumstance, you did like whatever. Like you did, you reacted to the throw with that, but like, theoretically, we could have gotten a shimmy and then been like, gotten a great conversion and set ourselves up for like 1 guess away from the kill here. So we could have done like, say... Wait for the shimmy, and then, wait, it's not, oh, wait, right. And then stand strong into this. And then we could have gotten that, and that's like 1 punish counter throw away. Or we could have done this into charge, and then he dies off of the next guess if he guesses wrong. Or we could have gotten... this into this, and then that sets up a perfectly timed safe jump. So we could apply some more drive gauge pressure, whatever, here. Or, alternatively, we could spend the drive gauge, and then put him there, and that is 1 throw away from death. So, a lot of options that, like, we capitalized on the shimmy in the most, like, brutal way possible. We could have put him in, like a 2-touch situation, right? So, anyway, so, like, those are the sorts of scenarios where I'm, like, if we have an idea of, like, 1 big-ass combo or 1, like, big-ass thing that goes into a setup that will, like, put them almost to death or whatever... Like, knowing when we can either kill them or put them, like, 1 guess away from dying with our current resources by getting a particular opening that we can create is, like, a huge factor, a huge caliber in making some of these matches go, like, way smoother and have way less, you know, indecision and messy things happening. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. You hold level 3, 1.06 waste. You use level 3 to kill. Could have killed with level 1. Some waste, blah, 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 etc. So anyways, my overall message is here to this overwhelming, and the vast majority of these matches have, like, much, much more wasted super than super with great value. My rules for how to apply, how to think about super, and we can use this to, like, simplify our decision making so we don't have to second guess what we're doing. Number 1 rule: don't spend if you have an impossibly tiny chance of winning the rounds. Especially if you're in burnout, don't defend yourself from DIs with supers while you're in burnout unless you have a real shot at winning the round. Alright, number 2 that I wrote as number 1 for some reason. If using a super will give you a clear chance to win the round, spend it, okay? There was even if you're about to die, even if you're like a throwaway from death, if using the super on a great situation will put you 1 guess or 2 guesses away from winning, do it. The likelihood of you winning those interactions and winning the game if you spend supers to put yourself in a great chance to win, the likelihood of you taking the round off of that is way more likely than a scenario where you choose not to spend your supers, but you'll find it a great position to use your supers early on in the next round, right? That doesn't happen as often. More often than not, much more often than not, if you save your supers and don't use them to try to fight for the current round, even if you have a great shot at doing so, with a really excellent place to use a super, more often than not, you'll wind up in the last round and fucking not wind up with great places to use your supers, and then you'll, like, get some waste, and then you'll win, or the opponent will win with, like, wasted super, etc., and they didn't have to spend whatever. I think the rarity of great places to use a super is lower than, like, the likelihood that you're gonna get the perfect scenario where saving your super was totally worth it and the right decision. Rule number 3, spend supers whenever you get the chance to get fantastic value from them, both in combos and for utility in the match, i.e. level 1 for reversals through fake DRs, fake drive rushes, or to avoid using the side switch off of EXDP, or to use a reversal that doesn't cost drive gauge, etc., or use level 2 to punish a fireball, especially if, like, the opponent is, like, low on drive gauge and they defend themselves with, like, a fireball and neutral to slow things down. If you can land a punish counter level 2 on them, you can put them much closer to burnout, etc. And so, like, situations like that where you get huge damage relative to, like, just the actual amount and relative to what you would have gotten had you not used a super, just do them. Just use them when they get value, unless you're obviously not going to win this round. Number 4, don't overestimate your predictive arithmetic, your resource arithmetic. The likelihood that you'll save supers for an even better outcome is quite low and would require an insane amount of foretelling and precise calculations in orchestrating the perfect series of events where saving your super is actually better. Number 5, seek out scenarios to use your supers, i.e. if you have a level 2, seek out great places where it'll give you huge value, like back medium punch target combo or back heavy kick, without using a drive rush cancel to go into them, i.e. use EX dive kicks to fish for opportunities to land back medium punch target combo. Look for jump light kicks for an opportunity to do the same thing. Counter hit medium knuckle, so do, like, stand heavy punch into medium spin knuckle. If that gets a counter hit, that will give you back medium punch target combo. Drive rush stand heavy punch. If it hits, back medium punch target combo, etc. Stand heavy punch target combo. If you single hit confirm or whiff punish with stand heavy punch into the target combo, you can cancel the second hit of it into level 2, and you get some pretty decent routes off of that as well, etc. So seek out the scenarios where you can get them. Rule number 6: level 2 has the best value potential if you get the right chances to use it, since it can do as much damage a lot of the times, or almost as much damage as level 3, but only costs 1.5 bars of super, because you build super, it's a level 2, and you build super back from the combo afterwards. And a lot of the time, you can do, like, level 3 damage with a level 2, but spending basically 0 drive gauge. It's if you land like a jump in into back roundhouse, you can get an absurd amount of value per supers. All right, rule number 7. Use your supers to supplement your drive gauge management, i.e. use level 2 when you land a non-drive gauge combo and you get like a back medium punch target combo or a back roundhouse, etc. And you can extend the combo without spending drive gauge so you can regen a lot. Or if you like shimmy the opponent, instead of doing like heavy punch into drive rush, maybe sometimes do heavy punch target combo into level 2 and then extend the combo that way with a non-drive gauge option. So those are my observations. I'm not going to keep fucking measuring your super usage and going through and testing all of these fucking matches to see where you could have gotten a kill or otherwise, or exactly how much down to the 100th of a fucking pixel what super you're wasting. This is kind of labor-intensive work to do this, so I will... But my point remains, these are my observations and my rules that I think one should follow. All right, cool.